Okay, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, much better.
Okay.
Now we're talking. Test, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
Test.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2,
Hey,
3.
it is very low, but it is recording.
Yeah, I think it's just us, our low voice.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Wow. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, I think.
Testing.
Okay, that's good. All right. So welcome everyone to tvosj.org. You're listening to the voice of San Joaquin right here off the Miracle Mile in Stockton, California. This is Betty Ramirez with La Voz Saturday program. You know what? The sound is coming through and it is recording, but it is recording low. So I'm going to just bring it up just a little more. I'm not sure if that's going to make a difference, but anyways, we're going to go ahead and still do the interview. So welcome guys. Do appreciate you coming out and sharing some information that is so important for the community to hear. And so I just want to say thank you so much to my friend, of course, from a while back, and we're talking a while back, and that's Ed Chavez. Edward, how are you? ¿Cómo estás?
Oh, fine. Thank you.
Welcome to your community radio station. Right here, the voice of San Joaquin off the Miracle Mile in Stockton. And we also have his friend, which I want to get to know. His name is Gerardo, right?
Absolutely.
Jerry Rivera, and he's coming from Remax. And so they're going to share experiences that have taken place, something that really awesome happened to my friend. And I want you guys to give a little bit of history of your background first before we get into, how you were able to qualify and be able to purchase a townhome. And I know that there's going to be a lot of individuals out there that are curious and want to know how this came about. So, go ahead and start, with me first. Edward, give me a little history, a little background. And, we go way back. We go like, what, 70s?
Late 70s, actually.
Late 70s.
Yes.
So, okay. Go ahead and give me history.
No.
Born and raised Stockton?
Yes, born and raised here in Stockton, California. Was raised here on the east side of town, near Main Street, and that's exactly where I grew up.
Main Street?
Yes.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, Stockton, California.
Yes.
Okay. So you went to Franklin.
Yes, I did. I went to Franklin
So
High
we're
School.
Yellow Jackets.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Okay.
And also, I grew up here in Stockton all my life. Been here, moved away for a little bit, down to Lockford, and came back. And that was it.
Okay, when you came back, what did you end up doing? You ended up working, because I know you're working for the union, right?
Yes, I actually been in the trucking industry due to my dad showing
Good part
me.
of your life?
Yeah, and actually until I finished high school. Actually, I started right out of high school.
Okay. And your dad taught you everything about the trucking business?
Yes, he did. We were farm workers, actually.
And you know what? That's the way we started out with my dad, too. 3, 4 in the morning, I found myself out in the field out there, desayando. And when that sun came up,
Yeah.
oh, my goodness, talk about back-breaking work.
Yes, we started.
And then that sun would just hit you. It's like, you'd cook.
And we started as farm workers and worked my way up to driving truck, and I still do it now, actually.
Wow.
Have not stopped doing it. And I got into union about 16, 17 years ago.
So union for a good part of your life.
Teamsters.
Teamsters.
Yeah. Local
Okay.
439.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh,
Yeah.
I want them. They have to come in here so that way we could do an interview with them too. So definitely. Okay, so give me your experience on what it's like to be able to be a first-time owner, because I'm looking. I'd like to buy a home. I'd like to buy a townhome. I would like to be able to qualify. I just don't know how to do it.
It's great, actually. It's a good feeling, especially when you have somebody like Jerry to help you out and show you how it's done. He showed me a lot of stuff, and he did a lot of work for us, for me and my wife, to show me how to purchase and save and fix our credit and all that. And he did all that for us.
So your credit was shot?
No, it was just a little slow, not shot.
My credit's shot.
No, it was just a little slow, and I caught up, and he showed me the way, and he worked hard to get this happen. And we stood 2 years doing it, maybe a year and a half to get it done. It needed some renovations done, and he worked on that half while I got my situation done to get it purchased and be approved. And he worked a lot to get it approved for me. I just wanted to let you guys know that how hard he worked for us to get everything done. And I believe he could still do it for other people here in Stockton.
Now, when you have somebody on your corner there, rooting and guiding you and showing you, that's gold. To me, that is gold because, a lot of people sure don't know how to go about to purchase a first home. And it is a scary situation. You're
Yes,
not
yes.
sure. So to have somebody to be able to walk you through it and then get you qualified, yow,
Yeah.
Yes.
what a feeling that is.
I had mentioned to him that I didn't feel good about doing it because I didn't know how to. I thought I was going to fail and maybe disappoint myself, but he kept me on up and up and said, "No, that's not how you want to feel." And I feel good about it, and actually I'm doing great with it.
That is wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, Gerardo, Jerry Rivera,
Yes.
give me your story. I want it.
Okay. So I was born in Mexico and
¿Qué parte de México?
I was born in el DF, in la capital
La
de Mexico.
capital, México. Wow.
I was raised in Chicago. From
What
a
part in
newborn-
Chicago?
In South Side, they call it back of the yards.
Back of the yards. I was at Wakanda for I don't know how many years. Yeah.
Okay. I left when we were 10 years old, so I just know like my immediate surroundings where I grew up. It was like Cornell Park. It was there off of Damon and 50th, and I grew up there from newborn till I was 10. Then we moved to Southeast LA. That I lived in
Whoa.
Huntington Park.
What a difference right there, huh?
Yes.
Southeast LA.
Southeast LA. So big cities. I didn't have the farming background. My wife, whom I met at Chico State University, she comes from a farming background. My in-laws worked out there in the field. She grew up in Red Bluff. And
Wonderful.
And
So I'm pretty sure she's really good with her plants, huh?
Yes.
My mom's got two green thumbs, and let me tell you, give her a dead plant and she revives that baby. And I kid you not, she does that. And I look at my thumbs and I say, man, I hope I have the same thing for mom. And I think I do because I keep growing all these avocados, and they just keep flourishing for me. I'm like, okay, I think I got the green thumb for mom. But anyways,
Awesome.
I love growing
Yes.
plants too, and that's something that I think everyone should have in them because it's going to come a time when you're going to be able to afford and buy your own home. And if there is a yard, convert that baby into a jardín, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Into a garden.
A vegetable garden.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who would
Because
not want that, right?
Yes.
So give me a little history. When did you start doing real estate?
I started 16 years ago. I graduated from Chico State in 2000, and out of college, my first job was doing corporate accounting. I did that for about a year and a half, and then after that, my brother recruited me back down. I was working out of Rancho Cordova doing corporate accounting. Then my brother recruited me into the mortgage industry. So I started out on the mortgage side of real estate. I was an assistant for a top producer in Wells Fargo down in downtown Long Beach. I did that for about a year and a half.
Wells Fargo, okay.
And after that, I got licensed in 2003. I got my real estate license, and I enjoyed the real estate side better. On the lending, you don't get to meet with people, and you bond so much more on the real estate side. You get to show properties, you get to sit down and really get to know your clients better on the real estate side. And that attracted me. I got hit with the real estate bug way back when I was 12 years old. My brother got licensed in 87 when I was 12 years old.
Okay,
And
so he kind of was your mentor then.
he was my mentor without
is so cool.
without knowing it. Yeah, I just got bit by the bug. I would he would have me come along with him on his appointments, and I saw the connection and the bond he had with his clients.
Yes.
they really, I saw them looking up to my brother, and when he handed them keys, and I went to a couple housewarming parties, and just it was like he was a mini celebrity. He sold a lot of homes, helped a lot.
Tapped into that energy. It's like,
Yes,
it feels
yes.
so good.
So I got that bug at 12 years old, and I went to school. I got my college degree in finance. I did a little bit of corporate accounting, but somehow I ended up going back into my original passion of real estate. I started out on the mortgage side for, like I said, about a year and a half, and then I got my real estate license, and then just started practicing what I saw my brother do, which was help families get become homeowners. And I haven't looked back. I mean, it's been 16 years, and it just kind of it goes by so fast. I was doing the numbers recently, and it's been over 300 families that I've helped
Oh my goodness.
throughout my career.
Woo! I got to give you an applaud there. Woohoo!
Thank you.
That's
Thank
so
you.
awesome. Wow.
And for me, it's just a number, but more important, it's the impact you have on people's lives.
It's not just a number. You touch so many lives there. Yeah, families.
That's
Oh my
true.
goodness.
That's so
You
true.
have helped them grow. You don't know what. I mean, even me today, I don't have a home, and it bugs the daylight out of me because I want a home, and I want to be able to have that home for if anything's to ever happen to my girls, and they need a place to stay.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
They come to mom and mom's place. So that's on the plan. I would love to purchase a home someday. Right now I just can't. But that's okay because I know I have to go through some changes. But to be able to offer a home and open up your home to your family means the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a foundational
Strong foundational.
piece in families, and for me, that's what has kept me in the business all these years, and it never gets old handing over the keys and just seeing the smiles on from the parents to the children, and it's not always family. Sometimes it's single people, buyers or sellers, but at the end of the day, it's such a huge impact in their lives, and I would like to say that it's an honor and a privilege to do that.
Yeah, and this is something that I think is so needed, and I want to hear the story how and when you met Edward. Exactly how did you guys meet? How did you come in contact? And what happened there? I mean, I'm curious.
I kind of still remember a little bit. I think it was in September that we met. My landlord came to me and says, "Hey, I'm selling this place. Are you interested?" And I
Your
says,
landlord came to you. I
"Yeah."
like that.
And
Okay.
I says, "Yeah, I'm still interested." And I didn't know where to look. I looked at several realtors, and I had asked my wife's brother if he knew somebody. He knew Jerry, and he signed Jerry over to me. And he said Jerry helped him too, also. I says, "Well, okay, then I'll give him a call." And sure enough, we came in contact. I think in September, maybe August of 2 years ago, 2017. To be honest with you.
So it was a recommendation.
Yes, it was a recommendation. Good recommendation.
Word of mouth is the best, Jerry.
Yeah.
Let
It
me
is.
tell you.
And it was great. It was great. And we've been good ever since that. We've been good friends. We stayed in touch, and he's a good guy, and actually, it feels like a family member now.
That is so cool.
So great.
That's an honor right there to
It
hear
is.
it.
Absolutely.
It's
Yes.
a great thing to have a friend like him around. You can go to him at any time, ask him any questions and about things you don't know about, anything pretty much about this house that I got, and he'll answer them, or if not, he'll send you the way. He'll show you the way.
And see, that's something that's unique there because a lot of times people are afraid to ask questions.
And
Who cares how it's going to come out? You're trying to learn as best you can because you're trying to do the right thing.
exactly.
And a lot of times people are afraid to ask questions, because for some reason I think they're going to look or feel that they're going to look dumb, but it doesn't matter.
It does
What
not.
matters is that
It's
you get that answer that you so need
Yeah.
to be able to go on to the next step, you know?
And it's a need to know. And Jerry's always told me, if you have any questions, just call me. I'll know. I'll see that if I can answer them. Not, I'll find that answer for you.
That's
And
and
it's
see
great.
that's a good agent. I'm sorry.
No,
that is
it is
that's
a great
good
agent. yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
Awesome, awesome. So okay, first impression when you met Edward, Jerry.
that. I saw that he really wanted to become a homeowner. I heard it in his voice and the duplex that his landlord was going to sell, one side was vacant for many years. It had deferred maintenance. It was actually the kitchen and bathroom were pretty much gutted to where it was being sold as is. The
So it
owner,
needed some remodeling.
it needed
some
remodeling. It needed
fixing.
fixing.
Yes.
And it was a challenge that I've helped home buyers buy homes that were fixer uppers
Yes.
and find the right. There's lending programs out there that will finance the repairs, and that's the route that I first was working on setting Edward up with. However,
Okay.
there were challenges that came from the lending side the
Okay.
first time around. We
Right.
tried to get the renovation loan, and there was more than one hurdle that blocked us from being able to close initially. However, I didn't give up, and I didn't want Edward to give up, and he was getting discouraged because
Right.
it was a long process. We
Yes.
were getting to the point where we were going to close escrow about a year ago, and because it's a unique situation, the property that he's in, it's a duplex in a neighborhood of single family homes.
Oh,
Yes.
And,
the only duplex there?
Yes, I'm the only
Edward?
duplex on the
Really?
block. Yeah.
and
Lucky,
that's a good
right?
thing. That's
Yeah.
actually a good thing for him because there's it's the only duplex in the neighborhood of single family homes. However, for appraisal purposes, it becomes challenging because
Yes.
there
that's what I
isn't
thought.
any comparables. Usually you go within the first quarter mile, and
Right.
appraisers go all the way up to a mile radius. Well, there isn't enough duplex comparables in that neighborhood. So
That makes it more unique, I
Yes, it
think.
is.
it makes it more
Yeah.
unique, and it was a challenge that the appraiser initially killed the deal for us. Like he killed the value, and he wasn't looking at the value of what the house, the potential that it had.
Okay.
And so I went ahead and when the loan got denied, I reached out to an investor
Mhm.
to help buy the house for Edward.
And these are contacts that you have come across and
Yes.
built in time, correct?
Yes. And
That you actually can trust.
absolutely. And Edward got to meet my investor, and
Okay.
the investor, he did all the work
Yes,
on
he
it.
did. Yeah, Fernando Alvarez. I think that's his name, right?
Yes, Fernando Alvarez.
Well,
And
put his name out there so
Yeah.
that way he hears it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
kudos to him for
absolutely. He and Fernando trusted me to help Edward out in this situation.
Mhm.
And because we've done business in the past, and it's just that mutual trust. When you do business the right way, it comes back. It
they'll
goes
always be
full
there
circle.
for you. Yes, yes.
And so in this, we went ahead and moved forward, and once we got because the seller waited for a long time. He waited for almost a year initially, and when we were getting to the end, and then the appraisal didn't go through initially, we ended up having to start all over. But this time around, I brought in the investor so that he could then fix up the duplex, and then Edward could purchase it already renovated. And that's what saved the deal. We were able to then get it fixed up for Edward, and at that point, we didn't have an appraisal issue. At that point, the property came in at value. It got a new roof, central heat and air.
Was he able
bathroom,
to
kitchen.
choose what he wanted in regards to the material, to the color, to the
I did.
style?
Yes,
Good for
yes.
you. So
And
it was more like a custom.
Yes.
And
Remodel it.
and before that, just to tell you this, I didn't live with no air. Well, I had air conditioner, of course. We all do it. Window air conditioner.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes that doesn't always just work out, but
Mhm.
I really didn't have a heater because it had the floor heater. It didn't work at times, but as he came in and did all the work, I hired the guy to do the work, and now I got central air and heat.
So
It's
everything
more-
works.
It's more modern now than I had before, so it's
I
great.
bet that's comfortable.
Oh man, it's so
Comfort.
comfortable, especially in the winter.
Yes,
Oh my
you don't want to
God.
freeze.
You know how we were
It's
taught.
cold.
If it's cold, you better put on a sweater.
Yeah. Or a
some-
couple of more blankets, you know.
Or some heavy
Layer
socks. But now we don't have to do that
Your
no
bufanda.
more. You know, but it's great now. You know, and now we
Yeah.
got central air, and of course you really don't want to put central air. I don't know. I'm just old school. Open up the windows.
Yeah.
You know, but
it's good to know
but
that
it's
you
good to
that you
know that
have it,
My
right?
son enjoys it because
Ah,
you know I help him out. He rents the other side, so he can save to buy a house. So he can go forward. So like you said, it's a foundation for the help for my kids. So if they're looking to get a house, so I can help them buy a house, I rent that side to my kids, so they can save. Cause rent's so high, they might not be able to afford to save. So you
well,
know,
that is a question, Edward, because even me today, I fear for my girls because I hear
Yes.
that their future is going to be nothing but rent, and
And-
they're
and-
never going to be able to own a home, and
Yeah.
that is scary stuff.
it's true. And
So to be able to have and say, I'm a homeowner, I own my home, that is, to me, that's gold.
it's great.
That
you
is
know,
gold.
And to help your kids, you know, to go
Exactly.
be a-
And you're setting a perfect example right there.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm doing for them.
Yes.
You know?
And all I did was help coach to get Edward there, because at first he wasn't a believer when the
No,
first time
I would
around
Feel the doubts, right?
he had the
Yeah.
doubts.
I
There's
did.
no way I'm going to go through all this, and I know I'm not going to get approved, or had that.
And
You know, that's the attitude a lot of people have because they just feel like there's no way they're going to get approved.
he
You know, I feel the same
Yes.
way sometimes about me too because, yeah, my credit sucks. Yeah, I got to be honest. Don't have a good credit. But that's something that happened, you know, in the past. It's haunting me today. And I know that's going to be a problem.
and
Yeah.
there's ways to work on it and work with professionals. There's professionals out there that their job is as credit counselors. There's companies out there that just want to that collect a monthly payment, but they're out somewhere across the country. It's better to work with credit counselors that are local. I have a great credit counselor. He's not here in the Stockton area, out in Sacramento, but I'm sure if I could ask for a referral here locally, or at least even in Sacramento, I could make that connection. And that's a start for that's step number one. Like if there's work that needs to be done on the credit, meet with somebody that could help you there.
Right.
And in Edward's case, we didn't even have to go that route. It
No.
was the loan officer
Yeah.
that did the work and put Edward on a plan, gave him a schedule of how to pay down his debt to improve
Yes.
his scores,
Yes.
so that his
That
score
was-
could get
Awesome.
high
That
enough
was
to
it.
where he would be able to qualify for the loan.
Yes.
And that's where I didn't do that part, but I connected him with the right person and the person that would have the patience to work with him, because
That's
a lot
beautiful.
of loan officers and realtors, there's great ones, and like in any industry, I'd say there's good and bad apples in any industry.
Exactly. You want the good apples, right?
Yes, and that's who
And I
surround
love the fact
myself
that you
with.
want to keep it local. we gotta support Stockton. We gotta keep it local. You know, this is awesome. So I'm glad that you said that.
Yes, absolutely.
Local first.
Yeah,
Local.
He does, but he would come all the way from Sacramento back and forth.
Yes.
I mean,
I still
almost every
consider
day, every
neighbor.
day.
That's our
Yeah,
local.
That's local. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's local. Yeah.
It's for me. And this goes to the word of mouth and referral. It wasn't. I didn't think twice of reaching out and connecting with Edward, and especially once I saw the situation, and I knew that it was going to take a lot of hard work, and not everybody's willing to do all that.
Yeah.
And put this was I want to say the longest process I had from beginning to end. Was here with Edward, and it was a 2-year process, but it was well worth it.
And it was successful.
It was successful, and to me, it just it gives me goosebumps, knowing that the mission was accomplished, and that even though we did come across several obstacles, but we didn't give up. It was a group effort. It wasn't just myself. It just wasn't Edward. It wasn't just the lender. It was a whole collaboration. The investor that was willing to put in the work and not cut corners. A lot of investors would have said, "Oh, we'll just put a window AC. We won't do all the duct work, and we won't."
Just like a little patch up,
Yeah.
like a Band-Aid.
Exactly, and
doing
try
it
to,
right.
No, we wanted to do it right. I wanted to make sure that Edward was able to get a home that he didn't have to spend a bunch of money right away.
Right.
That the main systems of the house would be in working order, and at that point, once we overcame those obstacles on the lending side, then the credit came along, the house got remodeled, and everything came together. And at that point, it was just I saw like light bulbs going off in Edward's eyes, like in his mind. When I would see after I saw him, because and I don't blame him, because it's a trying process. Like for me, I've gone through lots of difficult situations, and for me, I'm used to those obstacles.
Yes.
But it's
like a challenge, isn't it? I mean, Jerry.
It's a major challenge,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I don't give up, and I don't let my my clients give up. And Edward, he was a fighter, and he,
And so were you, because
No,
you
definitely.
stuck by him. You
Yes,
stayed by his
definitely.
side. No matter how long this was going to take, you did it. And that shows persistence. That shows that you care enough to do that for people. And that's beautiful.
It's true.
That's
It's
beautiful.
and you
true.
can't put $1 on that. You can't put it's just it's priceless. It's
Yes.
priceless. I remember Edward was tearing up when we were at the title company when he was signing
Yeah.
his loan
It's like,
docs.
finally, he's like, this is really happening. Right?
It
Edward?
was
what,
surreal.
What
It
was
was
going?
happening.
What was going through your
A
mind
lot of
at that time?
excitement, not believing it's happening, and just overwhelmed about happiness, about being a homeowner now, after all these years. Just
Wow.
like, and the partnership that this guy did, and the hard work, he put everything together himself. The team, he did everything all himself. It was nothing that I did for him. He did it
Yeah.
all himself. All the teamwork, all the people he brought together to help make it happen. And it was just that way. And he did it all.
It's going that little extra mile.
He was. And I
Yeah.
think it was more extra mile that he did. I think he did a little bit more than that. He put a good team together to make it happen. He saw, like you said, he saw the potential in that property that I didn't see. I thought he, like you said, the duct, the air conditioner,
Yes.
the flooring, the paint, the renovation.
Most important. And a
Yeah.
lot of times, like, even me, I live in a home right now. It's not even insulated. So, yeah, when it gets cold, it gets cold.
Yeah,
When it gets hot, it gets very hot, too.
yeah.
Insulation, of course, is something that, came later. This was a home that was built in the 50s, so they didn't use any insulation whatsoever
they
back
didn't.
then. And you
Yeah.
still have homes today without that. So yeah, to be able to get a full-fledged air condition, you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
brand
that's
spanking
great.
new.
Yes.
That's
yes.
great.
And a
That's
heater?
great.
What?
Heater. Yeah. It's great to have that heater, that's for sure, in the wintertime.
Yes,
It got
yes, because
cold-
it
it got
does
cold
get
in there.
cold.
It got cold in there.
Especially when you
Yeah.
can see your breath inside your own
Oh,
home.
yeah.
Like, okay, that's too cold.
Yeah, we saw
I
that.
know, been there, done that.
Yeah,
Mm.
but it's great. It looks great. It looks modern. People are amazed. I hear comments when people walk by and says, "Wow, this guy did good for this place." You know, I'm thinking.
Brought
you know,
back the value, probably lifted, you know,
I
the,
think- I
all the
think it-
residential
I
homes
think it might have
around
did
that
it, yeah.
neighborhood.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's something else too. And I'm sure your neighbors are probably
Oh,
very happy
Oh, they are.
to know, you know,
Yeah.
what their home is now being appraised.
Exactly. It looked like he brought something to the neighborhood because
Yeah.
people comment on it as they walk by.
That's
They
beautiful.
do.
That is.
That is so
Yeah.
cool.
That's.
You know, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you tell to somebody that is in your same situation, you know, first time home buyers? You know,
I would tell them that if they were looking to buy a house, first time first time buyer, to look Jerry up, you know, cards there. Of course, you have the card. To look him up, see if he can give him any help. I'm sure he will, you know. So, you know, here it is, and it's, if he could see it. But yeah, I'd tell him that would be the guy to go with. And I'm sure he would be able to put a team together to help out here.
Key
Okay.
components, finding the right lender, the right realtor that'll have the patience to work with the first-time homeowner, to guide them,
It's a must.
get them exposed to first-time home buyer programs, and get them enough information so they can make educated decisions.
excellent.
And there's a lot of different programs out there, and not all of them are great for buyers. However, some of them, that is the route that will help a homeowner, a first-time home buyer, become a homeowner.
Okay.
But the down payment assistance programs, lots of times the rates are higher or the requirements are more stringent, so it's more difficult to qualify for the home. And people don't always hear that. They just hear that, oh, well, I'm a first-time home buyer, and think automatically that the programs are the best thing out there, and not necessarily. It usually is better if you have your own down payment, but if you don't, using those programs will help you get in the home. And even if the requirements are more stringent, the interest rate is higher, and you qualify for less, the payment is higher, that if that's what it takes to get in the home, well, then by all means, if you could qualify with the down payment assistance programs, 100% go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're able to save up for your down payment, you'll have a lower payment most of the time. But and let me take this a step back and say there is some down payment assistance programs where it's grant money, and there's other down payment assistance programs where they're loans. You actually have to pay them back.
Okay.
It's with low interest, but the interest rate that you get, it's a higher interest, which makes your payment higher. So
Yes.
it's not always the best route, but that's why I'm
Yes.
saying it's just sitting down and knowing your options. And it's just the fear of the unknowns. Lots of times it's worse than what you really think.
Yes.
And just having a sit down with a lender and a realtor that's gonna put a team together for you. And myself, I love helping first-time home buyers, and I'd be more than happy to help anybody that's looking out there. I would love to help you. And
Oh,
now,
bless your little heart.
yes, absolutely. I will stay in contact, and I'm going to make sure that I work hard for you. And whether it's myself, whether I put a team together to help you, for me, it's not about me. It's about helping others. And for me, I'm not about oh, I want to do all these sales myself, even if it's me connecting you with somebody else that's going to be able to help you better, I'll do that. If I'm the right person that's going to help you get into your home, I'll start working with you from beginning to end. So
Aw, bless your heart. Well, I'm pretty sure a lot of the community that's listening right now is saying, you know what? That's my man.
Yeah.
That's my man. I got to call him. Put out all your contact information, Jerry, because, in case they do have questions, because I know they do,
okay.
at least they'll have a number to where they can call you and ask the questions,
Sure.
right?
Yes.
Absolutely. My number, it's area code 916-223-1349. That's 916-223-1349. Feel free to call or text me at this number. I'm available pretty much 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
Awesome. Okay. Any last words? Any shout outs that you want to give?
Just shout out to my Teamster brothers and sisters at Local 439. Want to say hello to everybody. You too, Jake, hardworking man. Our Stuart,
Not only that, but Edward, since I could not convince your wife to come in, what are her true feelings inside since you know?
Oh, she's excited about it. She cares about Jerry a lot. She says Jerry's a hard worker. Made it happen for us. She's very happy with the duplex.
She's now a homeowner.
Yeah,
So,
and it's a very good neighborhood. It's right off of the San Juan and Alpine still. Older neighborhood, but still good neighborhood. You
good.
don't find too many good neighborhoods like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's like familia, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. We all watch each other there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Jerry, shout outs?
Well, shout out to Omar Quintero, which helped with the loan for
Omar,
for
whoop,
Edwin.
whoop.
Yes.
Call me Omar.
Shout out to my wife, Liz, my two sons, Christian and
The whole family.
Julian,
Yes.
and shout out to well, that's it for now.
And
I could go
especially-
on and on and on
es-
if I
es-
started giving all the people I want to thank, but
Yeah.
I'm
We also
pretty
want to
sure-
thank you, Betty, for having us on your show.
This
Thank you.
has been a
It's been
pleasure.
a,
When I hear a success story, I want the story, and I gotta put it out there because I know there's a lot of individuals that are in your same situation,
yes,
Edward.
it's
and
never
so
too late to
we
start.
need to teach our
Yeah.
community, hey, and not only that, but build that confidence level.
Yeah.
There is people out there that are willing to go that extra mile, willing to work with you, so that way you can have a home someday and be a
Exactly.
homeowner.
yes,
Yeah.
shout
Yeah.
out to you, Betty. Thank you
Thank
for
you so much.
for having us. I
So,
get very nervous. I don't
You
like.
did great today. I mean, like I told you, it's just a conversation. We're going to converse. And you already know more or less what you went through to help him. So you know the steps. And you've been doing this for how many years now?
For 16 years,
Woo!
full time.
There you go.
And I want to just bring back and mention, as far as Edward, it's huge. He rented this duplex for just about 20 years,
That's a long time.
and now he's the homeowner now.
He's the owner. He owns that baby. Oh,
Yes,
I love it.
and so that goes to show. I mean, he was renting there for 20 years, and he finally made it happen. And all it took was somebody to help guide him and coach him, and
actually,
and
believe
here
in
he
me.
is.
Yeah, and believe
Huh?
in me because he did. He stuck by me for
Absolutely.
2 years. Most guys, I think, most realtors will probably just give up and say, "Hey, you didn't get your finances situated."
We'll
on
give up
time."
on you.
Yeah,
A lot of them will
we'll
just say,
yeah,
"Oh,
see you
okay,
later.
no,
We'll call you back later or so.
Exactly.
Yeah, he
And
didn't do
you
that.
never get that call back.
No, he never got that call. But this
Yeah.
guy, he stood by my side.
Yes.
That's what makes
yeah.
makes it unique. So
Oh yeah, great.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much again.
Thank you for having
Appreciate
us.
you. One more time, put your contact information out there because I know that there's people writing and getting ready to write with pen and
okay.
paper. Go ahead.
It's 916-223-1349. My name is Jerry Rivera. Once again, 916-223-1349. More than happy to help whoever's out there wanting to get information on becoming a homeowner.
And
Alrighty.
And they wouldn't go wrong with this guy. He definitely worked hard for him.
Okay, you heard it. You heard it right here. And that was Edward Chavez and Jerry Rivera. Of course. Thank you so much. You made today special. Boop, boop. Love it, love it. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to put this on Facebook so that way everyone has access to it. You will have access to it too tonight. So compártenlo. Share, share, share. Okay?
Thank you.
Most
Thank you.
important. So thank you so much. Okay, you heard it right here on TVOSJ. And of course, that means the voice of San Joaquin. And this is Betty Ramirez with La Voz, La Voz, La Voz.